So today we're going to be talking about how to teach the 1-1-1 doubling rule, when you can introduce the skill in the sequence of instruction, and a few word study activities that you can incorporate into your lessons so that your students can practice this skill. The lesson is found on page 256, so it's at the end of the book with the other spelling lesson pages. But since it is a commonly used spelling rule, children should be introduced to it pretty early in the program. This lesson and other spelling lessons can be pulled forward in the instructional sequence as needed. Words with the doubling rule first show up on page 111 with three-letter blends. Here, the students are adding the suffix ing to words. By the time you teach this page, you might have students who have no problems reading words with three-letter blends. So instead, you could do a short review of three-letter blends, and then your new instruction could be teaching the 1-1-1 doubling rule with the ing suffix using words from this page. Or you can teach the three-letter blends for one lesson and then teach the 1-1-1 doubling rule as a separate lesson and use page 256 as a reference. So looking on page 256, you might think that you can just add a suffix to a base word to change the meaning. And for some words you can, but sometimes the middle consonant is doubled. This rule we teach children when they need to double the consonant. In a one-syllable word with one short vowel and one final consonant, double the final consonant if the suffix begins with a vowel. The rule is very similar to what we learn for words with short vowels when adding CK, TCH, and DGE to the end. Let's take a look at an example of what happens when a consonant is not doubled. Let's say we want to change the base word mop to mopping. When we don't double the P, the word becomes moping. The I can jump over one consonant to make the O say its name, just like silent E. Adding another P stops the I from jumping. This is a very simple and effective way to teach the skill and explain why we double the consonant. You can use letter tiles to demonstrate the rule when teaching the skill for the first time. And then students can manipulate the letters and add the extra consonant when needed. Now the E and other suffixes can jump too. The ending consonant is doubled to stop the E from jumping. And we don't double the ending consonant when adding suffixes that don't start with a vowel, such as S. At the top of the lesson page, you have some examples of base words with different suffixes added. There are 5 examples of words that follow the doubling rule, followed by 5 that don't follow the rule, and the explanations are listed in the box on the right. So let's take a look at some words and decide if they follow the doubling rule or not. Remember that we double the final consonant if it is a one-syllable word with one short vowel, one final consonant, and we're adding a suffix that begins with a vowel. So let's add the suffixes S, ed, and ing to the base words hug, rain, and land. Because S is a suffix that is not a vowel, we can simply add it to the end of each of these words. However, when we add a suffix that begins with a vowel such as ed and ing, we have to see if the words follow the doubling rule. Hug has one short vowel and one final consonant. So we double the final consonant before adding ed and ing. And again, we're stopping that E from jumping and we're stopping that I from jumping. What about rain? Rain has the vowel team AI, not a short vowel. So we don't double the final consonant when we add ed or ing. How about land? Land has a short vowel, but it has 2 final consonants. So we don't double here either. Students can practice this skill by marking words on the Go Fish game page on the very next page, page 257, and then play Go Fish after. When you do this, start by having the student highlight the ing suffix, then underline the base word, and finally circle the extra letter and ask, why does it have that extra letter? So let me demonstrate how you would mark this page, and then I'll also demonstrate a couple of other things that you can do with your students to help practice this skill. So here we have that Go Fish page that follows the lesson found on 257. And if you notice, all of these words just focus on the ing suffix. So when you're having the student mark these words, you would have them first highlight the ing, and they can say ing, and then they can underline the base word. Now the base word, does the base word dim, does that normally have two M's when we spell dim? No, it doesn't. We just put one M. We only double letters when they follow the floss rule, right? The floss rule, we would double the letter at the end of a base word. And we notice that we have an extra letter here. We can circle that. Why is that extra letter there? Oh, that's right. It's to stop that I from jumping over and telling this I to say I. And that I can't jump over two consonants. So the word is dimming, and we double that M. And it follows the 1-1-1 doubling rule. One vowel, one final consonant. So they can go through and they can continue marking ing, find the base word, nap, and then we have that extra letter that we double because it follows the 1-1-1 doubling rule. You can even have the students mark it, one vowel, one consonant, so we double it. Or if they remember, oh, we need to stop that I from jumping and telling that A to say A. You can teach it that way as well. It's very effective. And they can keep going through, highlighting, underline the base word, circling that extra letter. And that's going to be important for when they spell these words. So after you're done marking the rest of your page, you can cut these out and you can play Go Fish with these words. Another activity that you can do with those same words is you can play Tic-Tac-Toe, and you can do some spelling practice. So as a whole group, as a small group, where the teacher would dictate the words, the students would pair up. One student is X, one student is O, and you play tic-tac-toe. So the first word is begging. Begging. My dog was begging for a piece of steak. Begging. So what we're going to do here is we're going to think about the base word in begging, because when we teach suffixes, we teach that we add suffixes to base words. So what's the base word for begging? Beg. Let's put beg on our arm. B-e-g. Beg. That's just a short version of putting it on your arm. Beg. So we're going to write beg. B-e-g. Now we're going to add ing. Well, does it follow the 1-1-1 doubling rule? One short vowel, one final consonant, and ing starts with a vowel. So we need to double that G and add the ing. Begging. And then player two would have their term. And your word is humming. I was humming a song that I just couldn't get out of my head. Humming. What is the base word in humming? Hum. Let's put hum on our arm. Huh, mm. Let me do that again. That's right. That H says hum. And then player O would write their word. We have one short vowel, one final consonant, so we need to double that M before we add our ing. And you can continue playing like that. And play tic-tac-toe and get that spelling practice. And all of these words have ing, and all of these words have the doubling rules. So they really get that practice of knowing that, oh yeah, seeing that pattern and knowing that they need to double that consonant. Another activity that you can do for a review after you teach is you can make these little flip cards. So I have the word, I've got the base word here, swim, and I have the ing ending. And then do we double that M to make it swimming? Let's see, the base word. Does it have one short vowel? You could have that student mark it. Yep, short vowel. Does it have one final consonant? Yes. So we need to double that M before we add the ing, swimming. Let's look at this word. We have the base word here, rain, and we have our ed ending, rained. Do we need to double that N? Let's take a look. Do we have a short vowel here? Nope, this is a vowel T. So since it's not a short vowel, we are not going to double that N to make it rained. And this is the correct spelling. It's rained with one N. So you can make these little cards to have students practicing whether they would double that consonant or not based on the 1-1-1 doubling rule. And to do that, I took a large index card and I cut it in half. And you take it and you fold it over. So they've got about a 1/2 inch here. And then you fold it just a little bit backwards, about a 1/2 inch as well. And then you can write the suffix on the end. And you can write the base word on this side. Let's say I want to write the word step. And then we're also going to put an extra P in the middle here so that it's hidden. And then we can use this to decide if we need to double that P. Our base word is step. It's got one short vowel, one consonant. So, and the I, E, and ing starts with a vowel. So I do need to double that P to make stepping. So you can make little cards like that for students to practice that doubling rule as well. And then when you look at the 1-1-1 doubling rule, and let's say you are introducing this skill earlier, you can choose the words over here that you want to include in your lesson. If they haven't worked with vowel teams, then don't pick words that have vowel teams. You can also take any of the lesson pages and pick words from the lesson pages that you could add a suffix to. Stripping, stressing, stringing, strapping, splitting, and you can do some practice with those. And then on the next page, the next lesson talks about these sounds at the top. And we have a little section at the bottom that reviews the doubling rule. And this is where they talk about how, yeah, that X, we don't double that X because X sounds like two consonants. So we don't double that. So there's an exception. And you get a little practice and you can pull some of these words and add some suffixes to the end. So those are some ideas how you can teach the 1-1-1 doubling rule and also some activities that you can do with that particular skill.